All right, I'm not exactly looking forward to making this video, but I put it off for a couple days, and I feel like I can no longer remain silent. And I've been sick and taking a little bit of a break, but I gotta talk about the Wheel of Time again. And I'm hesitant to do so because I love the Wheel of Time books. And it pains me to be so negative on the TV show because I really wanted to like it. But JordanCon was last weekend and there were some updates on season 2 and we got to get into it, baby. Here we go.
Oh, he's technically Mexican and 3/4 American, but for 3 generations he's got that nationality. Great-great-grandpa headed south, whose kids had kids then turned around. It's not what the show's about, but it's why he's Mexican technically. It helps that he was raised in New Mexico, lived in Guadalajara for 2 years, speaks fluent Spanish with a bachelor's degree in language, and makes a mean taquito.
If you are newer to the channel, you may not know that my first big break on YouTube was because of the Wheel of Time TV show. I reacted to the trailer when it came out, and I was super excited. The trailer looked really good. It got me super hyped, and the videos got a lot of traction, so I kept covering Wheel of Time news, and I even defended a lot of decisions that I didn't like that the showrunners were making, because I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I wanted it to be great. The books are one of the greatest fantasy series ever written, and they are near and dear to my heart. And ironically enough, the weekly live stream that I do on this channel actually started off as a Wheel of Time after show. I got together with my nerdy book friends and we would just talk about each episode after it came out, and that eventually became Best Gen, which you can watch on Sunday nights, and it's a lot of fun. Go watch my weekly live stream, everybody. And for the first couple episodes of the show, I was on board. Yes, there were decisions that were made that I personally really didn't like. I was still giving the show grace and giving it a fighting chance. And I still do believe that there is a lot of stuff that is done well in the show. But unfortunately, there are a whole lot more negatives. But the show's biggest sin is that at its core, the showrunner just straight up disagrees with the fundamental concepts of world building that Robert Jordan created in his books. As the show progressed, it became more and more apparent that the showrunner and writers were inserting their own politics and beliefs into this story, and it really had a negative effect. That, and after it ended, there were several tweets from the showrunner that came out that really exposed his way of thinking, and someone eventually leaked the first draft script of episode 1 that was written by Rafe Judkins himself, the showrunner, and that was very enlightening. Turns out that Rafe Judkins clearly wants to use this show to play out his own personal fantasies, which is something that I find absolutely disgusting and completely disrespectful to Robert Jordan. So that is what I found the most offensive. There were so many stupid things that were inserted into this plot that were clear windows into the minds of these writers that just had no place being in the Wheel of Time. But even if that wasn't an issue, the story really fumbles at the end of the season. The season finale is just an absolute embarrassment, storytelling-wise and visual effects-wise. It just becomes nonsensical and left me and all my friends with a really sour taste in the mouth. But of course, in Hollywood, everyone fails upward. They keep getting promotions just as long as they are willing to keep pushing the message over actual storytelling. So that's the preface. I hate this show and everything it stands for, but unfortunately it's gonna keep getting made. They're already filming season 3, and for crying out loud, Rafe Judkins was awarded with the gift of showrunning a new show for Gears of War. So I'm really sorry, guys. Get ready for that. Anyways, JordanCon was last weekend, and Rafe Judkins has continued his public display of indifference by not showing up. Since becoming showrunner, he's had a handful of opportunities to go to JordanCon, and he continues to snub them, showing what he truly thinks of fans of the source material. He even made fun of that fact in the video that he sent to JordanCon with the most smug look of pompous arrogance I've ever seen on a human being.
Hey everybody, for what is now my annual tradition, I'm here to explain why I'm not at JordanCon.
See, it's funny that I don't give you the time of day.
We are working hard on season 3 of Wheel of Time, and to celebrate the 15th anniversary of JordanCon, I am here to officially not announce the season 2 release date, but what we will give you is a few of our amazing new cast members. They've been with us for a year or years in some case already, and now you finally get to meet them. Here they are.
See, it's funny. You were expecting after a year and a half a season 2 announcement, or at least like rumors of a release date. But because I mismanaged the show so badly, we still don't have a definite number to give you. This is just... It's pathetic. They're already filming season 3. And I get that post-production takes a long time, but any showrunner worth their salt could at least give an estimate. And the fact that it's been this long and they still don't even know when season 2 is coming out just shows you how badly this whole thing has been managed. Rafe Judkins should not be a showrunner. It's been a year and a half, and all we've gotten was a tiny sneak peek that came out way back in July of 2022, which showed a couple behind-the-scenes shots of season 2. And then in October of the same year, they gave a recap of season 1 with a few tiny scenes from season 2. And since then, it's been literal radio silence. This is not a good way to market a show. And I get there were complications with the Rona, but you can still be open and honest with fans. Or what fans you have left. So the big reveal of this video was the first looks at the Aiel. And more importantly, the first looks at Ayula Smart in character as Avienda, who is very important in the books. And if you're new to the Wheel of Time, all you need to know is that the Aiel are a race of pale redheads, which is very important in the books. Their skin color and hair color plays a huge factor in the story. But because Rafe Judkins hates the Wheel of Time, he cast Ayula Smart, a black woman, as an Aiel, and not just any Aiel, the most important Aiel character in the books, Avienda. And here we go. Here we see. When I saw the casting announcement, I was understandably upset, and I think it's incredibly stupid. But I was still, in my heart, giving these psychopaths the benefit of the doubt. And in my naivety, I thought that they could still make this work, because she's not super dark. She could pass as just being really tan, and if they give her a nice wig, she'll look like a redhead. But no! Not only does she look extremely out of place with her skin tone here, they don't even bother making her get rid of her dreadlocks! This is not red hair! She does not have red hair! I don't get it! She just doesn't have red hair, I guess. And if you think it's a weird thing to complain about, you need to know the books. It is very important. Like, main characters' lineage comes into question, and they need to look Aiel. And if the Aiel don't have a look, it makes no sense. Aside from her not looking the part at all, in this video it was abundantly clear that she has zero charisma.
Hi, my name's Ayula Smart, and I play Avienda.
Hi, my name is Maya Simonsen and I play Tiad.
Hi, my name is Sara Caragnas and I play Bane.
Welcome to JordanCon.
The other two characters are actually pretty well cast. I like them in the roles of Bane and Tiad. But frankly, the actress on the right would be a better Avienda. This pisses me off so much. And I'm not being racist. The Aiel race is important to the story, and doing this makes no sense. I also think that the girl on the left needs redder hair. I don't think it's red enough. It's the kind of like, oh, it's dirty blonde, it's kind of red. I don't know. Also, I don't like their costumes. It looks like pretty good cosplay, but it looks bad for a TV show. Like, their clothes need to be dirty. They live in the desert. It's silly. Anyway, what's more insulting is that this is all that the video was. It was just, hey, we're going to show you a little glimpse of the Aiel, and it was so haphazardly just jumbled together. You can just feel the disdain for true fans just dripping from the showrunner. They managed to film these Aiel characters on set, and Rafe Judkins is giving his portion of the video on set, along with their super fan who's in charge of telling Amazon when they're veering from the books, which apparently she just didn't work at all for season 1. But everyone else that they made for this video that they had to prepare beforehand because they sent it in to JordanCon just zoomed into a conference call and they recorded that. Like, I would get it if you were doing like a live Q&A to zoom in to JordanCon if you're away filming on location and you can't make it to JordanCon. But they pre-produced this video for JordanCon and they couldn't even bother to get the majority of the actors to show up in person, which just shows that there was zero forethought to any of this because Rafe Judkins hates Wheel of Time fans. They announced Dane Bordhalt's casting, which I think it's fine, and they had these other actors do their Zoom calls, whatever. But the most baffling thing in this video is the announcement for the casting of Shiriam Sedai, which is just you just need to watch. So I say this with all the sincerity in my heart. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but you're going to have to watch this to understand, because here it is.
Hi, I'm Rima Tuiota. When I auditioned for Wheel of Time, they had a false name for the show and false characters. The script was elevated and magical, but I still didn't know what show I was going to be in.
For some reason, it's filmed like some Charlie Kaufman student film. I don't know, but it goes on.
When I got the role, I found out.
She goes and sniffs some birds' nests.
I was shocked, but calm.
For reasons.
It felt surreal. Like I was floating.
I don't know what this is for.
I love being in Wheel of Time.
What is this?
It's so easy to become immersed in Shiriam. Their thoughts and moods and tactics and shifting intensities. And I look forward to fans experiencing the dynamics between Shiriam and novices and Shiriam and Aes Sedai. Enjoy Series 2.
What am I watching? What is this? So, sorry for that. It comes out of blue in the video, and the rest of it is more normal. I don't get it. And then here you have Rafe Judkins pretending that he loves the Aiel culture in the books, but then proceeds to just completely butcher them.
I mean, we really wanted to draw from all of the elements in the books to explore the Aiel. I love the Aiel in the books. Everyone does.
I absolutely love the Aiel in the books. Everyone does.
So you see it all in the show. Giato, Guy Shane, like, we're doing the Aiel the very best that we can, exactly as they were in the books.
Exactly as they were in the books? Because in the books, it says that Avienda looks like Rand's cousin, except she's black.
You sure about that? You sure about that? That's why?
The very best that we can, exactly as they were in the books.
Also, I gotta say, I really hate the spears. They make no sense. These things look more like swords. The spear blades are so long and the handles are so short that I don't even think they could technically classify as spears, which is weird because, like, it's a very important plot point in the books. The different advantages that weapons have, that spears actually have a huge advantage over swords because of the reach. It's a major plot point in the books that someone with a spear can easily fight off multiple people with swords, except that they wouldn't be able to do so with these. They'd just be using them like swords. It's ridiculous. And maybe it's like, oh, they're better for throwing, but then you only have 3 spears, and then what do you do when once you've killed 3 people? What do you do then? It's moronic. I really hate the Aiel here. I hate what they've done to the Aiel. But man, I'm so worried about this show, and I think the safest thing to do is to just stop caring entirely, because I don't see how this show could have any hope of being successful with Rafe Judkins still in charge. He just clearly just disdains the books, putting in all these horrible horrible changes that destroy future plot lines. My wife told me that the show ruined the books for her. It destroys a bunch of core relationships that happen later on in the series because Rafe wanted to inject his own LGBTP propaganda. Because inclusion is important, okay? And the original books were problematic because they weren't inclusive enough. I'm sorry, if that's how you feel, you cannot tell me that you are a fan of the books. If you felt that the books were problematic, then you didn't like them, and you should not be in charge of the adaptation. The rest of the questions in this entire video are just really, really stupid, and I don't want to talk about them. It's like, oh, what's your favorite spirit animal? Who gives a balls? Okay? But this question in particular really made me laugh. They asked, what is a trait that you and your character have in common? And some people just answered, oh yeah, this and this and that and that and that. And then you get a Eula Smart's answer, which is this.
I can't think of anything.
But at least she's being honest. It's probably because she has nothing in common with her character. I've probably gone on for way too long, but this show just, it pisses me off. It's so upsetting because it did have a lot of potential. They did a lot of things right. There was some good set design and for the most part, the costumes were pretty good. And some of the special effects were good, and others were a little bit lacking. But it was definitely way better than Rings of Power, if we're just talking storytelling and production. But on principle, I hate it way more than Rings of Power. So yeah, it is technically a better show, but I hate it more, especially because Amazon led a guerrilla war against all dissenting opinions when the show came out. They tried to do the same thing for Rings of Power, but it failed because the fans were too numerous and too powerful, but they got away with it for the Wheel of Time. They paid a bunch of shill influencers to push the show, and they weren't allowed to say anything negative about it. They pushed really hard for that fake hype on social media, and they even went so far as to ban entire subreddits for speaking ill of the show. The White Cloak subreddit, which was formed by people who didn't think that the show was faithful to the books. That subreddit got shut down entirely because Amazon couldn't take the criticism. They had some real spicy memes though, like this one, which is just, it's so true. Min in the show is awful. She looks like an 80-year-old woman. It's so dumb. So yeah, I hate what Amazon did to this series because the showrunner sacrificed all of that potential so that he could insert his own agenda. And it's really sad. Not only did my wife tell me that the TV show ruined the books for her, I had several friends who had started reading The Wheel of Time before the show came out, and because I made them watch the show, they stopped reading the books. They said, wow, this is really bad. I can't do this anymore. And despite how many times I've promised, like, no, but the books get really good, they haven't gone back to them yet. So anyway, I gotta call it there. I'm just gonna keep talking just ad nauseum. But I'm ready. I'm ready for season 2. I've been rereading the series. I've reread books 1 through 3. And presumably season 2 will cover books 2 and 3. So I'm fresh. And I'm ready to tear this dumpster fire of a show apart. So go ahead, Amazon, release your premiere date, and I will meet you on the fields of Marilore. But you have forgotten the good triumphs in the last battle. Sorry for the spoilers, but I mean, of course the good guys win.
Great. Thank you guys so much.